Hey there, boils and ghouls. It's your friend Tara and Tats, and as you can tell, the holidays are getting closer. You see, I got the tree already all lit up and put up. Yeah. If any of you are thinking may last minute gift ideas for me, I have one. I like my boss, Frank Shirley, right here tonight. I want him brought from his happy holiday slumber over there on Melody Lane with all the other rich people. I want him brought right here with a big ribbon on his head. And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, low down for, flushing, snake licking, dirt eating, inbred, overstuffed, blood sucking, dog kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat ass, bug eyed, stiff legged, spy lipped, worm headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol? Sorry, everybody. I couldn't help it. I couldn't resist. Just I don't know why that. I think you already know what I'm talking about. Not just by the title, but also I think that little diatribe, that little rant, kind of gave everything away what I'm talking about. But I don't know why. Just from the minute I first watched that movie back on VHS in the day, and all the way through, just for some reason, it's like once I ever heard that, it's like that thing just that rant he goes on just always stuck in my head. So I hope you all forgive me. I couldn't resist. I had to do it. Yeah, you already know what we're talking about today. Warner Brothers has they've released four Christmas classics on 4K. A Christmas Story, this one here, Christmas National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Elf, and Polar Express. And Universal just released the three of the Rankin Bass Holiday Christmas Classic cartoons. It was Rudolph, Frosty, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Yeah, just unfortunately, Paramount dropped the ball. We didn't get, we didn't end up getting, Scrooged on 4K. Maybe next year. We'll see. But anyway, so yeah, we got this one in today. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And like I said, this is a movie I've watched many, many times. I thought, honestly, it was interesting. I thought that Paramount missed the mark, or Paramount, Warner Brothers missed the mark on this and Christmas Story because I thought, originally, until I looked it up, I thought that Christmas Story actually came out in '82. And then I thought this came out in 1992. So I was like, yeah, it's going to be one of those deals where, like, Paramount kind of dropped the ball. This is probably the 30th anniversary of this movie. And, it would have been the 40th anniversary of Christmas Story, but come to find out, no. This movie actually came out in 1989, so that surprises me. But it is nice to actually finally have it on 4K. There are a couple of things that bother me about it, but we'll get into that. So anyway, here's the cover. And I'm going to be honest, okay? I just did my review of Christmas Story, and I wasn't really happy with, the way the cover art looked for Christmas Story, but I actually like this. You know, I like the way this looked. They do it as like a family, kind of like a family holiday Christmas card and stuff. I'm actually really impressed with that slipcover. I actually really do like that, and that looks good. I mean, yeah, I got a couple of things like Clark's. You got the cat there, of course. Um, Clark's stocking has to be the one on fire, but honestly, I really do like this cover. And it's beautiful and glossy, and there you go. There's the side, and there's the back there. Unfortunately, no real bonus features. That's one of my big gripes is that, for this movie has become, almost, over 30 years now. This movie has been out and has become one of the biggest Christmas classics ever. This movie is just as much beloved as like A Christmas Carol or Christmas Story or It's a Wonderful Life. This movie's right up there, with, the all-time greatest Christmas movies. And yet this movie never really got a really decent edition of it. And we still don't have it here. Special features. You got the commentary track by Randy Quaid, Beverly D'Angelo, Johnny Galecki, Miriam Flynn, and director Jeremiah S. Chichek. I'm sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. And producer Maddie Simmons. And the trailer. And that's it. It's like, seriously, like, why can't we get a really good anniversary edition of this movie with, like documentary, interviews, all that kind of stuff. Maybe like some of the, there's actually an interesting video on YouTube where they talk about some of the lost scenes from Christmas Vacation. There was a scene, where I think it was they find the tree that they want, but then they realize they didn't bring a saw or anything like that. So, Clark and the Griswolds, they go to this tree lot to try to see if they can borrow like a saw or axe or something to cut the tree. That's not in the movie. It's like, oh man, it's just there's so much stuff here that, could have been, they could have done more with this. And it just feels like a crime that they didn't do more with this. Because like I said, this movie here, it's one of the big Christmas staples. This movie, people love this movie. Same thing they do with A Christmas Story, and they celebrate it, and they just it's an every year watch for them, and I do find it interesting though. Well, not interesting, but I do find it impressive that John Hughes, in the career of his life, ended up making easily two, arguably three, of the biggest Christmas movies ever made. They came from his imagination. There's Christmas Vacation. He wrote this. He wrote and produced Home Alone, and then he wrote and produced Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. So it's like the man is responsible for two, arguably three of the biggest Christmas movies of all time. That's pretty impressive if you think about it. I mean, a lot of filmmakers make movies that take place during Christmas, and it's very rare that they become classics. So it's like, John Hughes. He managed to make two movies that went on to become Christmas classics. He ended up making probably the main Thanksgiving movie ever. Which is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He also wrote and produced Dutch, which honestly, if you've never seen it, if you really want a good, fun movie to watch on Thanksgiving this year, watch Dutch. That with Ed O'Neill and Ethan Randall, like Joe Beth Williams. That movie is so underrated. It's just like it's so criminally underrated. That movie is so good, and it's like ah. Yeah, just if you can see it on streaming. If you can find a copy of it, Dutch with Ed O'Neill. Just it's such a crime that movie doesn't get the love that it deserves. But yeah, you know, be sure to check that out. But anyway, let's get back to this. Like I said, I do love this slipcover. I think that's beautiful. I love how beautiful and glossy it looks and everything else. Of course, like it's not much of a difference. That's one thing I think that Warner Brothers really could do is like, you guys really could invest in maybe some reversible cover art, and just like I think it'd be kind of cool, have that for the slipcover, and then have a reversible cover with the original poster art, because that was always vintage classic, that poster art, for Christmas Vacation, the drawing, Clark, wrapped in lights and the Santa outfit and all lit up and stuff. But still, this isn't bad either. So one thing I do have to admit, yeah, I'm not really a fan of that. Both the 4K and the Blu-ray are the same color. They're both red. I kind of wish, if they wanted to go with the theme and do the same thing with Christmas Vacation like they did with Christmas Story, where, in these Christmas editions, the Blu-ray is red and then the 4K is green. I think that's how I went. If you want to do it that way, that's fine, because red and green, the two main colors of Christmas. So, it's like, yeah, they could have done that easily with this. And, I really wish that they would have. But yeah, that's pretty much my biggest couple of gripes is just, we really should have had an anniversary edition of this movie and, and everything else. But anyway, still, it is really nice to have this on 4K. And how does it look on 4K? Honestly, I was very pleasantly surprised with it. I wasn't expecting much. The Christmas Story 4K, it does look good, and but like I said, when I said in that video, it's like don't expect an entirely new viewing experience. This one here, it's pretty much about the same thing. Don't expect anything brand new, but there are parts that like, when you're watching it, it's like there are parts that are like wow, like the daytime like winter landscapes and stuff like that. Like some of the colors will pop out at you and things like this, and the details, like the detail inside the Griswold household and everything else, some of that stuff really does, come out more and not that you really want to see this, but you can get a little bit more, you can see a little bit more detail of the filth of Cousin Eddie's, RV. But yeah, it's little things like that, little things that you'll notice. But it's kind of the same thing. I will say though that this is definitely the best this movie has looked. And, I think this is probably the best transfer, my opinion, because I've seen this on I've watched this through VHS, through DVD, onto Blu-ray, onto streaming, and I just remember like when I got the Blu-ray, I remember being kind of really underwhelmed by it because I was just watching. I was like, wow, this is it. Like it just didn't feel for me personally when I got the Blu-ray. I felt like it just didn't really like improve on the DVD that much. I just didn't really see much to it. It's like this here, like I said, this is they did a really nice transfer on this. You do get HDR, you get the Dolby Vision. You got DTS HD Master Audio, you got Dolby Audio. But one thing that is a nice little difference between this version, and which probably is one of the reasons why this cost a couple more bucks than Christmas Story did. On this version, if somebody gives you a digital code for this, or you buy this and you redeem the digital code, you do get the movie in 4K. You get it in UHD, so that's nice. Whereas the Christmas Story, you don't get that. You just get the movie in 1080p. So this is nice actually. You do get the 4K version with this, so that's a nice little added bonus. But just yeah, I would definitely say it's like this is a little bit of a pretty penny. I paid about $29.99 for this. But well, actually, it's $27.99. It's about $30 with tax. So, but anyway, though, I would just say, yeah, I would definitely recommend this if you're a fan of this movie. If you really want this, and like I said in my Christmas Story, review, I think it would be kind of cool if, like, you might want to get this so you can watch it throughout the holiday season, or if you're, like if you're going to do, like this is the year you're going to break down and you're going to go 4K and you're going to get you the 4K TV and you're going to get you a player, with 4K capability and all this kind of stuff, and you want to have this to watch on, this would be a brand new watching experience on Christmas Day. I say definitely go for it. But overall, I'm very happy with this. And yeah, I mean, it's not really a surprise that we're going to start getting kind of, I know some people are probably looking at this like, wait a minute, we're going to start getting Christmas movies and stuff now. Think about it. 4K has pretty much been around long enough that the majority of all your, maybe not everything, but the majority of all your big, spectacle movies, your blockbusters, all that kind of stuff, a lot of that stuff has pretty much made its way to 4K now. So I mean, we knew eventually, give it a few years, it's going to be around long enough. There's not really much left to go with. So it's like they're going to start. Well, now we start working on the comedies. We start working on dramas. We start working on family films, things like that. I mean, they've been doing a little bit throughout the time, but kind of figure it's like, yeah, I figured the time was going to come. They were going to start working on making stuff like this come out. So, and I'm for it, because even still, it's a movie from 1989. They did a really nice job on the restoration. It looks beautiful. And yeah, I definitely recommend pick up Christmas Vacation on 4K. Just like I said, just really wish we could have gotten some reversible cover art and just wish we could have gotten some bonus features. So that's it. So if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I also hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. There's going to be a lot more stuff coming. And that's it, my boils and ghouls. Take care, and I'll see you later.